Dr. Alex Raines wiped the sweat from his brow as he crouched beside the strange creature. It was a small, scaly alien, no taller than a human child, with tiny limbs and glowing eyes that seemed to watch him closely. The creature hissed softly, clearly uncomfortable, as Alex carefully applied a soothing ointment to a rash-like patch on its back. "This won't hurt," Alex said softly. He had worked with many alien species before, but none had reacted quite like this one. It was not just fear or aggression, it was curiosity. Almost as if the alien knew he could help, but didn't fully trust him yet. Alex had spent years on Nova Eden, a colony at the edge of explored space. Humans were still rare here, and most aliens looked at them with a mixture of awe, suspicion, and confusion. After all, humans were strange, soft skin, tiny bodies compared to many species, and yet somehow capable of surviving in ways that aliens could not. The colony's overseer, Quarv, hovered nearby. Quarv was a tall, slender alien with silvery skin that reflected light in patterns that made it look almost like a living mirror. Its multiple eyes blinked in unison as it observed Alex's work. "You have seen it," Quarv said, its voice like the rustling of metal. "Do you understand what this means?" Alex paused. I just put ointment. I swear. That's all." Quarv's eyes narrowed. "You have seen everything. Human. You have seen the way your kind heals. And you must take responsibility." Quarv's eyes. Alex blinked. He had heard the phrase before in alien cultures, usually referring to knowing secrets that could change entire societies. But he had only applied ointment. How could that be so important? "Take responsibility for what?" he asked, trying to sound calm. His voice, however, had a hint of nervous laughter. "It's just a rash. That's all." Quarv's eyes seemed to shimmer with frustration. "Humans are different," it said. "We have watched you from the earliest colonies. You heal faster than any creature we know. You adapt to poisons, recover from injuries, survive conditions that would kill us. We did not think that anyone could simply heal with touch and patience." Alex raised an eyebrow. "Touch and patience? That's just basic first aid." "Basic for you, yes," Quarv said. "But to others, it is dangerous knowledge. We cannot unsee it. You must explain it. You must take responsibility for your species." Alex groaned inwardly. Of course, humans were always a source of curiosity and confusion for other species. And now he was expected to stand in front of a council of aliens and explain why humans were too resilient, as if he had a choice. He gently patted the alien creature's back one last time. "There. All done. You'll be fine." The creature blinked slowly, a sign of trust, and waddled back to its enclosure. Alex watched it go, feeling the tension in the air. "You will answer," Quarv said again. Its tone was soft but firm. "The council expects explanation. Your people cannot hide the truth forever." Alex rubbed his temples. "I don't know how to explain it," he muttered. "We're just humans. We heal. We get better." Quarv made a low humming sound that Alex had learned long ago meant frustration. "That is not sufficient. Others will see this as threat or miracle. Both are dangerous. Troop. End quote. Unwerical." For a moment, Alex stared at Quarv in disbelief. A threat? A miracle? He had spent years studying alien species, helping them understand each other, and now he was told that humans themselves were a secret too dangerous to reveal casually. He shook his head. "I just put ointment. That's, literally, all." Quarv's eyes glowed faintly. "You underestimate the weight of your species. You underestimate the potential impact." Alex sighed. He had learned early on that arguing with Quarv was pointless. The alien did not shout or rage. It simply observed, and in its observation, it made humans feel both small and enormous at the same time. Across the room, other aliens were starting to notice the tension. Small groups whispered to each other, their eyes flicking toward Alex. Many had heard rumors about human healing abilities. Some believed humans could survive any poison. Some believed humans were immune to disease. And now, seeing Alex interact with the small creature, they realized it might all be true. Alex glanced at the creature again. It blinked at him, as if understanding the human's worry. For a fleeting moment, Alex imagined that it could speak, and it would tell him to relax. But no, it was an alien. And its eyes only reflected trust and curiosity. "Very well," Corv said at last. "You will demonstrate. You will show them what humans can do. And you will take responsibility for it. Oh, play. Ama. Oh, play." Alex groaned again. "Take responsibility? For putting ointment on a rash? Seriously?" "You misunderstand," Corv said. "This is more than ointment. This is human resilience. You have seen the difference. Others must see it too. Only then can they respect it. Only then can they accept it." Alex ran a hand through his hair. The council meeting was scheduled in an hour. He had time to prepare, but he had no idea how to prepare for something like this. How do you explain basic human biology to species that had never seen a cut heal in a week? How do you explain something as simple as immunity to a virus that could kill their entire kind? He glanced at the small alien creature one more time. Its tiny scales shimmered under the fluorescent lights. Somehow, he felt that the little being understood. Perhaps it knew that humans were special. Perhaps it knew that the universe underestimated them. And maybe, just maybe, that was why he had been chosen. The council chamber was a large, circular room filled with species of all shapes and sizes. Tentacles waved, wings flapped, and eyes glowed in patterns Alex had never seen before. At the center stood Corv, silent and imposing. "Humans," Corv began. "You have seen what we could not understand. You have touched what we feared. You have healed where we could not. You must show the council why this is so." Alex swallowed. I can try," he said. The first alien to step forward was a tall, armored being named Graal. Its voice was like grinding metal. "So, human," it said, "you claim that a small ointment can heal?" 80. Graal. 80. Alex shook his head. "Not the ointment. The ointment just helps. Humans can heal, naturally. Cuts close faster. Bones mend faster. Infections fight off faster. It's just how we work." There was a long silence. Whispers filled the chamber. Many aliens had never seen anyone heal so quickly. Some leaned closer. Others recoiled. Another alien, a floating jelly-like creature named Miri, spoke. "Explain. How is this possible? What mechanism allows your flesh to recover, while our own takes months?" Alex thought for a moment. "Honestly, I don't know all the details. Our bodies are designed to repair themselves. We have strong immune systems, fast cell regeneration, and, well, we take care of ourselves. Diet, sleep, medicine, it all helps. But even without it, humans are surprisingly resilient." Gasps echoed through the chamber. A few aliens muttered nervously. Others scribbled notes on glowing pads. Corv's eyes glimmered. "You see? They are amazed. And they are afraid. You must accept this. Humans are remarkable." Alex swallowed, trying not to feel embarrassed. "I'm just a doctor," he said. I don't have superpowers. I just help. Corv tilted its head. Helping is precisely what makes you remarkable. The Council must see your kind as both capable and responsible. And you must take responsibility for being human. Alex laughed softly, despite the tension. Responsibility? For just being human? Yes, Corv said. For showing what your species can do. For surviving where others cannot. For being extraordinary in ways they cannot yet comprehend. Alex nodded slowly. He felt a strange pride, mixed with anxiety. He was just a human. But in this room, surrounded by species that could crush him with a thought or dissolve him with acid, he felt special. Because humans were special. And now, the universe would start to notice. The small alien creature from earlier peeked into the chamber, its glowing eyes fixed on Alex. He gave it a small smile and a wave. Somehow, he felt that it understood the moment. Somehow, he knew that this was just the beginning. The Council murmured, whispering among themselves. They were not sure whether to fear humans or admire them. But one thing was clear. They could no longer ignore the resilience, the adaptability, and the surprising strength of this strange species from Earth. And for the first time in his life, Alex Rains understood the weight of being human in a galaxy full of wonders and dangers. He took a deep breath, ready for what was next. The council chamber was still buzzing, long after Alex had spoken. Aliens of every shape and size whispered to each other, their glowing eyes reflecting curiosity, fear, and awe. Alex shifted nervously on his feet, glancing at Corv, who stood silently, watching the reactions carefully. He had expected questions, maybe even skepticism, but he had not expected this level of fascination or unease. "This is unusual," said Graal, the tall, armored alien, stepping forward again. Its metallic voice rumbled through the chamber. "Your species heals faster than expected, stronger than expected. How can this be natural?" Alex tried to keep his voice calm. "It's just biology," he said. "Our bodies are designed to recover. That's all. There's no magic, no secret weapon, just evolution and care." Growl tilted its head. "Care? Or something else? You underestimate how frightening this is to others. If your species is this robust, we could misjudge your intentions. We could fear you." Alex felt a chill. He had thought humans being special would be a point of pride. But apparently, it could also be dangerous. I'm not dangerous," he said. "I'm just a doctor. I help wherever I can." "Helping is what makes it confusing," said Miri, the floating jelly-like alien, pulsing softly. "If your kind can heal and survive anything, then you are unlike any species we know. We do not know how to interact with such a species. Without caution." Alex sighed. "Look, I don't know what else to tell you. We heal faster. We survive better. That's how humans are. That's why I apply ointment. It just helps us recover faster. Nothing more." The council murmured again. Alex could see the tension growing. Some aliens leaned back in fear. Others leaned forward in fascination. Humans had always been a puzzle to the galaxy, but today, Alex realized just how strange they seemed. Corv finally spoke. "You see?" it said quietly. "They are uneasy. They are unsure. They fear what they do not understand. That is why you must take responsibility for your nature, human." Alex ran a hand through his hair. Responsibility? For healing? For surviving? That seems unfair. "Perhaps," Corv admitted. "But your species' capabilities affect the galaxy. You cannot hide them. You cannot ignore them. Others will react. With fear or admiration. It is your duty to guide them in understanding humans." Alex frowned. He had expected recognition or perhaps curiosity, but he hadn't expected responsibility to be such a heavy burden. The idea that his species' natural biology could disrupt interstellar politics was overwhelming. As he pondered, whispers turned into open discussion. Aliens questioned each other, exchanged theories, and even argued. Some suggested that humans were a secret weapon, designed by evolution itself. Others thought humans were lucky, or perhaps blessed, by something unknown. Alex tried to calm himself. I can't control what humans are. I can't explain evolution to every species in a few minutes. I just exist, like any human. A small, winged alien with bright orange feathers fluttered closer. But exist differently, it said. Others will expect more. We will watch you. Every action will be measured. If you heal when we cannot, it will create imbalance. Alex nodded slowly. He understood now. Humans were unique, yes, but that uniqueness also created fear. The galaxy wasn't ready for a species that could adapt and survive beyond imagination. And he, Alex, had been placed in the center of it all. He remembered the small alien from the lab, the one he had treated earlier. Its tiny scales shimmered as it moved. Somehow, that creature seemed calm. It trusted him. Humans may be strange to the galaxy, but among themselves and among those they helped, they carried a quiet power, trust, resilience, and compassion. He straightened. Then I will show them, he said quietly. I'll demonstrate what humans can do. Not to scare anyone, but to help. Quarv nodded slowly. That is wise, human. You act not in arrogance, but in responsibility. That is why humans are remarkable. That is why others must understand. The council meeting ended soon after, but the tension lingered. Alex left the chamber and walked through the colony's corridors, which were filled with all kinds of alien life. Some creatures stared at him curiously. Others whispered behind their hands. A few even stepped aside, in caution. He found himself in the medical bay again, staring at a display of human and alien biology, side by side. Humans were small, fragile-looking. Yet their bodies were strong in ways most species could not imagine. Cuts healed quickly. Immune systems resisted diseases. Even bones mended faster than most alien skeletons. Alex smiled faintly. He had always thought humans were ordinary, but in the galaxy, ordinary was extraordinary. Alex, a voice called. It was his colleague, Dr. Lila Tran. She had been studying alien biology for years and was one of the few humans at Nova Eden. You okay? You look stressed. Alex chuckled nervously. Stressed? Just a little. The council wants me to take responsibility for being human. Leela raised an eyebrow. Take responsibility? For healing a rash? I didn't even think it was that big a deal, Alex admitted. But apparently, it is. Humans are weirdly powerful, and the aliens are scared. Lila laughed softly. Welcome to being human in space. You're either too strong or too fragile, depending on who you ask. Alex smiled. Yeah, I guess that's true. But I don't want them to fear us. I just want to help. Lila nodded. Then you'll show them what humans can do. Not just the healing, but everything else. Your intelligence, creativity, empathy. That's what makes humans remarkable. Alex thought about that. Humans weren't just physically resilient. They were resourceful, adaptable, and courageous. That was why they survived where others failed. That was why humans were special in the galaxy. Maybe you're right, he said. Maybe this is the universe's way of making them notice. The next day, Alex prepared for another demonstration. This time, it wasn't just about ointment or a healing rash. It was about human ingenuity. He set up a simulation with alien patients who had been injured in training exercises. Broken limbs, minor burns, simulated poisons, everything was designed to test his abilities and show the council what humans could do. When the aliens arrived, some looked skeptical. Some whispered nervously. Alex took a deep breath and began. He worked quickly and calmly, applying his knowledge to treat injuries, explain the methods, and even improvise solutions when the aliens' medical systems failed. Slowly, whispers turned into murmurs of admiration. Eyes widened in surprise. Tentacles reached out to observe more closely. Wings quivered with excitement. The aliens began to understand that humans weren't just survivors, they were problem solvers, adaptable in ways no species could match. Quarv watched silently, nodding slightly. "See?" it said to the nearby council members. "This is the human way. They heal. But they think. They adapt. They care. That is why they are remarkable." Alex finished the demonstration, exhausted but satisfied. He stepped back and allowed the council to discuss. For the first time, he felt a sense of pride. Humans weren't just strange or lucky, they were necessary. They were valuable allies in a galaxy full of dangers. One small winged alien approached him cautiously. "Human, you are different," it said softly. "We did not understand before. Now we do." Alex smiled gently. "We're just humans. We do what we can." "But you're just as extraordinary," it replied. "You survive. You help. You adapt. That is remarkable." Alex felt warmth spread through him. Finally, the misunderstanding was clearing. The council and the aliens were beginning to see humans not as a threat, but as something worth respecting and trusting. He looked at Quarv, who simply nodded. "You have done well, human. You have taken responsibility, not through force, not through fear, but through demonstration. That is how humans are understood. That is how humans are respected." Alex nodded slowly, realizing the truth in those words. Humans were not only survivors, they were teachers, helpers, and problem solvers. And if the galaxy could understand that, then humans could make a real difference. For the first time since arriving at Nova Eden, Alex felt truly confident. The misunderstanding had been enormous, but it was dissolving. Humans were no longer just mysterious strangers. They were allies, friends, and a species whose abilities deserved respect. And that, Alex thought, was the first step toward showing the galaxy exactly what humans could do. The morning sky over Nova Eden glowed a soft pink as Alex walked through the colony's outer fields. A quiet tension hung in the air. Normally, this part of the colony was alive with activity: aliens, training, drones, repairing structures, and humans overseeing experiments. But today, the atmosphere was heavy with concern. Reports had come in overnight. A nearby settlement, Eloria, was experiencing a mysterious disease outbreak. The illness was spreading fast, and the local alien population had no known cure. Panic had set in. Quarv met Alex at the communication hub, its reflective skin flashing patterns of worry. "Human," it said, its voice calm but firm. "Your abilities may be required sooner than anticipated. The Eloria colony is at risk. They cannot withstand this illness. Only humans may intervene safely." Alex froze. "Only humans? But how?" Quarv gestured toward a report floating in the air. Holographic images showed aliens coughing, sweating, and struggling to move. "Your immune systems, your resilience, allows you to endure conditions that are deadly to others. You must go and assist them. Show them the way humans survive." Alex swallowed hard. He had known humans were different, but seeing it spelled out in real danger was sobering. I'll do my best," he said quietly. By midday, Alex and a small team of human medics boarded the transport ship to Eloria. Alien colleagues watched nervously as the humans prepared for departure. Many whispered fears about humans as carriers, or humans as miracle workers. Alex ignored them, focusing on the task ahead. The ship's engines roared, and within hours, the Eulalia settlement appeared beneath them, a sprawl of domed habitats surrounded by reddish plains. Smoke and alarms rose from the center of the colony. People, mostly alien, stumbled through the streets, looking weak and terrified. Alex stepped off the transport and immediately went to work. He assessed patients, noting symptoms: high fevers, rashes, and weakness. He began administering treatments, using both human medicine and improvisations adapted to alien physiology. To his relief, the aliens responded. Slowly, they began to recover. Cuts healed faster, breathing became easier, and energy returned. The disease, though severe, could not match the resilience of humans working on their systems. Other aliens watched in awe. Some whispered in disbelief. "They survived this?" one muttered. "How can this be?" Muttered disbelief. Alex treated patient after patient, sweating under his protective gear. Every step reminded him of what humans were capable of: endurance, adaptability, intelligence, and the willingness to help others. The healing was not magical, it was methodical, precise, and empathetic. Humans cared, and care often made all the difference. At the edge of the settlement, a group of alien leaders gathered. Quarv had accompanied them, observing Alex's work silently. The leader's eyes were wide with surprise and a hint of fear. "How is this possible?" one asked, his voice shaking. "They survive conditions that we cannot. They heal faster than expected. This is unprecedented." Alex looked up briefly. "It's not magic," he said firmly. "It's human biology. Our bodies are designed to recover, and we adapt quickly. That, combined with proper care, can overcome many illnesses that are deadly to other species." A winged alien named Yalra stepped forward. "But why are you here? Why risk yourself for us?" Alex smiled faintly. "Because it's the right thing to do. Humans help. That's what we do. Surviving isn't enough. We help others survive too." The alien leaders exchanged glances. Slowly, understanding began to settle in. They had seen the rumors about humans, heard tales of resilience, and now they saw it firsthand. Humans were extraordinary, but their strength came not just from their biology, but from their empathy and willingness to act. As Alex moved through the colony, a young alien child approached him. Its tiny claws trembled as it reached out. Alex knelt down and gave it a reassuring smile. "Don't worry," he said softly. "You'll be okay. I've got you." The child's parents watched silently, awe in their eyes. For the first time, they saw humans not as mysterious strangers, but as protectors. The truth was clear. Humans could survive, yes, but more importantly, they chose to help. Hours passed, and the disease began to retreat. Alien doctors, inspired by Alex's methods, worked alongside him, learning quickly. Together, they stabilized the settlement. What had started as panic became relief. In the quiet moments, Alex stepped outside to catch his breath. The sky was deepening into orange, the sun dipping toward the horizon. He looked at the recovering aliens, the bustling medics, and the calm, quiet workers around him. For the first time, he truly understood the power of humanity. It wasn't about strength alone. It wasn't about surviving where others couldn't. It was about intelligence, compassion, and the determination to act even when things seemed impossible. Humans weren't just resilient, they were indispensable. Quarv approached him silently. "You see, human? This is why others must understand your kind. They feared you before. They did not trust you. Now they see you." Alex nodded slowly. "I think they're beginning to understand," he said. Yes, Quarv agreed. Not just your biology, your spirit, your courage, your humanity. Alex looked down at his hands, still carrying the marks of long hours of work. I never thought of it like that. I was just doing my job. And that is precisely why humans are remarkable, Quarv said. Not because they seek praise, but because they act without hesitation when it matters most. That is strength the galaxy has never seen before. As night fell over Eloria, Alex stood on a ridge overlooking the settlement. The lights glimmered softly, and the recovering aliens moved through the streets, some still cautious, some beginning to smile. He felt a small vibration from his communicator. Lila's voice came through. Alex? I've been following the reports. You've done more than I imagined. You're making history. Alex laughed softly, exhaustion and pride mingling in his chest. I just put ointment, I swear, he said. Well, and a little more than that. Lila chuckled. Maybe a little more is exactly what the galaxy needed. Alex smiled, looking at the stars above. For centuries, humans had been underestimated. But here, on the edge of known space, humans had made a difference. They had saved lives, inspired trust, and shown that resilience was only half the story. Compassion, ingenuity, and courage completed it. A small, familiar figure appeared beside him, the tiny alien from earlier, the one he had treated first. Its glowing eyes looked up at him, reflecting trust and recognition. Alex knelt and patted its head gently. You understand, don't you? He said softly. Humans, we do what we can. And sometimes, that's enough to change the world. The alien blinked slowly. A gesture Alex had learned meant approval and understanding. In that quiet moment, he realized that the galaxy was beginning to see humans for what they truly were. Not a threat, not a miracle, but a species capable of great courage, compassion, and resilience. By the time Alex returned to Nova Eden, word had spread. Aliens whispered tales of human bravery and healing. Some still feared the species, but most now respected them. And Alex knew, deep down, that the real work was just beginning. Humans had shown their value not through force, not through fear, but through action. And in doing so, they had begun to reshape how the galaxy understood them. He looked up at the stars again, feeling the weight of what had been accomplished. Humans were no longer just a curiosity, they were a force for good, a bridge between species, and a reminder that resilience combined with compassion could change everything. And Alex knew that, no matter what came next, humanity would face it not alone, but together. Strong, adaptable, and ready to help wherever they were needed. When Alex returned to Nova Eden, the colony felt different. The familiar corridors and labs seemed brighter, as though the air itself carried whispers of something new. Alien residents glanced at him with a mixture of curiosity and respect. Humans had always been a rare presence. But now, after the events at Eloria, they were something more. Quarv met him at the transport dock. Its reflective skin shimmered in the sunlight, eyes flicking with patterns of approval. Human, it said, its voice calm but commanding. Your actions have changed perceptions. You have done what many could not. Others now see humans for what they truly are. Alex nodded slowly, exhausted but satisfied. I just did what anyone would do, he said. I treated patients, helped where I could. Quarv's eyes glimmered. That is precisely what makes humans extraordinary. You act without hesitation, without expectation of reward, yet the impact is profound. That is strength and wisdom. Word spread quickly through Nova Eden. By evening, aliens of all shapes and sizes came to see the humans. Some approached cautiously, others with wide-eyed admiration. Whispers carried through the colony. Humans were brave, resilient, and intelligent. Some even joked that humans might survive a supernova. unscathed. Alex walked through the colony's plaza, noting the change. Aliens who had once looked at humans with suspicion now nodded respectfully, some even bowing slightly in recognition of the courage and skill displayed at Eloria. He stopped near a small fountain, watching alien children play. One of them, a tiny winged creature, fluttered toward him with a glowing smile. Alex knelt and reached out. "Hello," he said gently. "Enjoying the day?" The child chirped happily and waved a small hand. Around them, other young aliens followed, mimicking Alex's movements and laughing. It was a simple moment, but it reminded him of why humans were special. Resilience was important, yes, but empathy and connection made humans truly remarkable. Dr. Leela Tran joined him, carrying a medical kit. "You've become a celebrity," she said, smiling. "I've never seen the aliens react this way before." Alex laughed softly, shaking his head. "Celebrity? Maybe. I just did my job. But I guess sometimes, being human is enough to make a difference." "More than enough," Lila said firmly. "Humans don't just survive. They lead. They inspire. They care. That's why everyone respects you now." Later that evening, the colony gathered in the central hall for a formal recognition ceremony. Quarv stood at the center, its glowing eyes sweeping over the assembly. Alien leaders from various species sat in the audience, their expressions a mixture of awe and appreciation. "Today," Quarv began, "we honor humans not as strangers, not as curiosities, but as allies, protectors, and teachers. Your actions at Eloria have shown us what your species is capable of. You heal, you adapt, you think, and you care. That is extraordinary." Alex felt a flush of pride. He glanced at his fellow humans, who stood quietly behind him, some smiling nervously, others holding their heads high. They had always known their capabilities. But now, the galaxy knew too. One by one, the alien leaders approached. They offered gestures of respect, bows, handshakes, and in some cases, glowing nods of approval. Alex accepted each graciously, feeling a sense of unity he had never experienced before. A tall, armored alien named Graal stepped forward. "Dr. Rains," it said, its metallic voice deep and steady. "Humans are different. Your species' resilience and intelligence surpass our expectations. You have taught us not through words, but through actions. We thank you." Alex nodded, humbled. "I only did what I could. Humans help when it matters most. That's all." "Yet that is enough," Graal said firmly. "Enough to save lives, to inspire trust, and to teach us humility. You are a model for all species." Quarv stepped forward again. "Humans," it said, "we recognize you as vital members of our interstellar community. Your presence is no longer a curiosity. It is essential." The crowd erupted in murmurs of agreement. Aliens who had once doubted humans now looked at them with respect, even admiration. Alex realized that fear had turned into understanding, and misunderstanding had turned into respect. After the ceremony, Alex wandered outside. The colony's lights twinkled under the night sky, and stars stretched endlessly above. He felt a profound sense of peace. Humans had proven themselves not through force or power, but through compassion, resilience, and intelligence. A small alien approached him quietly. It was the creature he had first treated with ointment, the tiny, scaly being with glowing eyes. It extended a small hand, which Alex shook gently. "Thank you." Alex smiled. "No need to thank me," he said softly. "We're humans. We help. That's what we do." The creature blinked slowly, as if understanding. And Alex knew that this simple act, helping, healing, caring, was the real message. Humans were special not because they were invincible, but because they chose to act for the good of others. Over the next few days, the colony buzzed with activity. Alien doctors worked alongside humans, learning techniques that would help them survive future outbreaks. Humans shared their knowledge openly, teaching not just medicine, but problem-solving, teamwork, and empathy. The partnership between species had strengthened, and the colony had grown stronger as a result. Alex found himself reflecting on everything that had happened, from a simple application of ointment, to the council's suspicion, to the disease outbreak at Eulalia. Humans had proven their worth in unexpected ways. And yet, despite the recognition, the work was far from over. The galaxy was vast, full of dangers and wonders, and humans had a role to play. He looked around at the bustling colony. Aliens and humans moved together, learning from each other, sharing experiences, and building trust. Alex realized that this was what humans were meant to do, not just survive, but connect, inspire, and lead. Corv approached him once more. "Human," it said, "you have done well. The galaxy sees you now as we always knew you were. But remember, this is only the beginning. Your species will face new challenges, and your actions will continue to shape the future." Alex nodded. "I understand, and we'll be ready. Humans adapt, we help, and we never give up." "Exactly," Corv said. "That is why humans are extraordinary. That is why you are essential." As the night deepened, Alex walked to the colony's observation deck. The stars stretched endlessly above, each one a world filled with possibilities. He thought of Earth, of the human race, and of everything they had accomplished and endured. Humans were small in the vastness of space, yet their impact could be enormous. He smiled softly. "We're just humans," he whispered to himself. "But sometimes, just being human is enough to change the galaxy." A gentle breeze carried the sounds of the colony. Aliens talking, children laughing, machines humming, and Alex felt a deep sense of fulfillment. Humanity had been recognized, respected, and trusted. They had proven their value not through aggression or dominance, but through intelligence, compassion, and courage. And in that moment, he understood something fundamental. Humans were not just survivors. They were catalysts for change, bridges between worlds, and a reminder that resilience paired with empathy could reshape the universe. The stars above Nova Eden seemed to shine a little brighter that night, as if acknowledging humanity's arrival in a galaxy that had once doubted them. And Alex knew that wherever humans went next, they would continue to inspire, to help, and to prove that even the smallest species could leave an enormous mark. For Alex Rains, and for all humans, the journey was far from over. But now, the galaxy no longer feared them. Now, it respected them. Now, it understood that humans, in all their simplicity and complexity, were extraordinary. And somewhere, in a quiet corner of the universe, a tiny, scaly creature blinked up at the stars, its glowing eyes reflecting the same truth, that humans, no matter how ordinary they seemed, could change everything.